Hey guys, welcome back to ArxangelRC. Today I'm going to show you a comparison of the PoKeFPV and the Inductrix FPV. Now, apart from the color and the slightly different canopy design and battery shape and prop design, they're basically identical size, weight, function, and almost flight performance as well. Now, some of my clients have said that the Poke has a better image quality when recording the Inductrix and the Poke on the same DVR. The one coming from the Poke looks better. I haven't made out that difference yet, but probably it is there. That's about it. There's one other difference. The flight controllers are shaped differently. The Poke motors actually have to be soldered on the flight controller, while the Inductrix ones are on a connector, so it's easier to replace them. But also the Inductrix battery connector actually is designed for lower amps than the one on the Poke, so you might end up breaking that on the Inductrix sooner than you'd expect and having to replace it, while the one on the Poke is big enough to handle the currents and will last a while. Another thing is durability. Now, after over 150 crashes with the Poke, I still haven't broken or scratched anything, but on the Inductrix I managed to break one of the 3 supporting posts holding each motor. I broke one of those on one of the motors pretty quickly. Haven't broken anything since, and it's been flying perfectly, but it still broke, and in not that hard of a crash. The Poke has had some epic crashes at speed, and not a clue. If you take a look at the copter, not a clue anything's wrong, but the Inductrix broke really quickly. No one else has been able to break it around me, but you know, that's my experience, so I have to share it. But yeah, overall, my opinion is that the Poke is a lot more durable than the Inductrix. Now, one other thing, after all these crashes on the Poke, I've never had to push in a prop or a motor that has come out during a crash, and I've had a lot of those. While on the Inductrix, every now and then when I crash, it tends to lose a prop, and I have to go find it and put it back on. And also the motors slide out of the motor beds, so every few crashes I actually push them back in, because you know, at some point they might fly off. That's another difference that I've noticed. Also, flight performance. You will see a comparison of the flight performance between the two. On the right is the Inductrix with the Gen 6 battery, which is better than the stock Horizon Hobby battery, and on the left is the Poke with its stock battery, same capacity, 200 milliamps, one cell, but you can see the Poke is so much quicker, and the Inductrix just isn't able to do the same thing, you know, and it's almost twice as expensive as the Poke. I mean, for the price of the ready-to-fly FPV package of the Inductrix, you can have 2 Pokes and the OTG module, you know, and something else as a spare. So basically with the Poke you get the remote control, and optionally for $10 you can buy the RF module, which will allow you to fly it with the Taranis and improve the flight performance. And you can even get the F3 Betaflight version and bind it directly to the Taranis, and that's for slightly more than the ready-to-fly version. And the bind and fly Inductrix is still more expensive even than the F3 Betaflight version of the Poke. And for another $50-60 you can also get the Poke FPV OTG module with the goggles, and basically almost for the price of a Poke of an Inductrix bind and fly, which is around $100. So for $100 you can actually have the ready to fly Poke with the RF module and the OTG module and the goggles. So a lot more bang for your buck, and the majority of people think the Poke actually flies better, has more speed and more power, doesn't bump the ground all that often. And that has also been my experience with it. So final thoughts: I've flown both a lot and I've crashed both a lot. Uh, I definitely have to put the Inductrix back together a lot more than the Poke. I actually haven't had to piece it back together because nothing has fallen out of it, even after some spectacular crashes. And at speed, the Poke is more stable and flies better. And the Inductrix actually needs the optional Gen 6 batteries, the two actually batteries, to fly better, which is a little bit annoying, but whatever. In terms of price, the Poke wins again. Almost half the price for slightly better performance and quality. So I have both of those in my store, the Poke and the Inductrix. If you have a Spectrum radio, absolutely go with the Inductrix. Uh, it's just not worth it buying the RF module or the F3 version for the Tyrannis and finding a way to bind it. Although the Poke will have a DSM-2 version to bind with the Spectrum, but it's not out yet. So if you have the Spectrum radio, get the Inductrix, almost the same, and it will give you a lot of fun. And get some spare batteries. If you don't have a Spectrum radio but almost anything else, uh, get the Poke. Definitely the better investment. It will cost you less, spare parts are less, and you're getting more for your money just because it doesn't say Blade on the side of it. So that was my comparison so far. I hope it's been helpful to some people, and I will see you later.